That game sucked, honestly.
Sucked. I mean, yeah, it was a ass kicking, but I don't know about sucked. I mean,
Well, I just
it's fun to
wish,
see the you know best team show up and dominate. So
hey, you don't have to tell me I had Baylor number one for a while there. So
yeah, you had them going all the way, and then at the last second, you just
what an idiot I am. My God,
you
I
kind of went away from it.
so stupid. I mean, it
I
just
told you Baylor money line was the bet tonight, no doubt about it.
if you look at my bracket, I had Baylor winning and I didn't stick with them. I don't know what I was doing.
I don't
I
know.
just figured since Gonzaga survived UCLA, they would have a chance to win. But if you see my bracket here, I'll go full screen real quick. You see my bracket, it says Baylor.
Baylor, good work.
I'm a damn idiot. Why didn't I stick with them? It's a weak move by me.
I know. That way you could be like, oh, I had them both. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah, I tend to do that too much with everything. So,
Sheesh.
but you know what? I'm so thrilled for Baylor. I really am. I like everybody on that team. You look at what Scott Drew did. They won 21 games combined in his first 3 seasons there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unreal.
this isn't the greatest rebuild in college basketball. It's the greatest rebuild in sports.
I mean, it only took him 18 years to rebuild it, but
okay, they've been good forever, so you can't just say that it's only taken them 18 years. They've been good. It just took them 18 years to win one.
I know.
And
It's
you got to
not that
wonder,
easy to win one.
you think it's fair for people to question whether Mark Few can win the big one? Because I don't really think it's fair.
No, I don't think so.
His team didn't show up. They got their asses beat.
Baylor showed up in amazing fashion.
Nobody was even coming close to beating Baylor tonight.
No, Baylor could have played some NBA teams, even though I don't watch the NBA. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Well, I'll just say this. I said before the game they needed to get physical with Timmy and use the fouls, and they did that.
They definitely used them.
And they were hitting shots.
They used them. I mean, Timmy tried to play outside more or get the ball outside, and every time he did, he coughed up the ball. And then he clearly can't play defense outside. I mean, clearly. Because he got
made it really hard to get
time.
the ball. They made it really hard to get Timmy the ball.
Yeah, they did.
Even when Davion Mitchell was in there, I think he fouled him that one time, but
yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, Baylor's defense was on another level tonight.
You remember when Illinois played Baylor in December, right?
Yes.
This game was Baylor on steroids compared to that game.
Correct.
They made everything. They defended really hard. They played smart. They controlled the game. It was 9-0 right away, and I was like, okay, Gonzaga, it's Gonzaga. They'll start to get something going.
And they kind of did towards the end of the half, and then, and then they got it within 9, and then Baylor just hits back-to-back threes. It was just, it was unreal. Flagler was perfect from 3, wasn't he? 3 for 4 from 3. I mean, just everybody was
I'll tell you this. You got to think about this. If you would have told me going before the tournament that Baylor would be able to get up really early on Arkansas and be up by 20, and Arkansas would climb back in, but then you also told me that Baylor got up really early on Gonzaga and Gonzaga didn't climb back in,
yeah,
I would have said, "What are you, an idiot?" Because I wouldn't have seen that coming. Like Arkansas got back in the game,
yeah,
but you could tell Baylor was a team on a mission, possessed. I mean, they were not letting Gonzaga win this ever.
Right.
So
yeah,
I mean, people are going to underrate in history. I think people are going to underrate how good this Baylor team actually was. And honestly, if they didn't have a COVID pause, this could have been 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it, and people talked about, is this the greatest team ever with Gonzaga? And Baylor absolutely embarrassed them. Now, would they 9 times out of 10 would that happen? I don't know, but tonight it happened. And
I still think these are 2 of the best teams in the last 20 years.
Yeah, and Gonzaga they were just lost the whole game. I mean, 14 turnovers. Gonzaga, I mean, they had 8 in the first half, and they averaged 11 a game or something like that.
Yeah, they were rattled. I mean,
embarrassing.
Gonzaga's all, like I said before the game. I don't know if I said this exactly, but like Gonzaga hasn't seen a team with this amount of elite guards on both ends.
Well, yeah,
There's
'cause they
no other
play in
team in the
the
country.
West Coast Conference.
All right. Man.
I'm joking.
I mean, I'm ready for someone to actually say something about that and be serious.
You know,
That would be fun.
and it amazes me looking at these stats that Suggs had 22 because I thought they shut Suggs down.
He
more
hit
or
some
less.
garbage time threes.
Yeah, true. But he was turning the ball over. Man, I didn't see a 20 point whatever in a 16 or whatever it was. I did not see that
86 to
coming.
70. Yep.
I didn't see that coming. I mean, I thought Baylor would win the game, but I did not see just a thumping.
And I'm an idiot. Didn't have the balls to take
balls.
Baylor.
We'll remember that forever.
I mean, you look at the last 15 years of runner-ups in tournament games or in NCAA championship games. There's some really good teams on here that are probably forgotten because they lost. Like, obviously, Illinois in 05. I don't really think people forget that team, but that team is one of the best.
Right.
And then you look at 2007 Ohio State. That team was damn good. Obviously, Gonzaga this year and in 2017, both really good teams. And I would say that the Texas Tech team from 2 years ago is not one of the best, I guess, over the last 15 years to lose in the championship game. But that team was really good too. I mean, most teams that lose in the championship game are good, but there's some that are much better than others that you would think would win one, which is exactly what this Gonzaga team was. So
yeah,
that's brutal for Mark Few, man. 2 championship losses in 4 years. This was his best team ever by far. I really don't think he's ever going to have a team this good.
true.
Like, they'll be really good next year, but they won't reach this level. I think
No.
Timmy will probably stay, you'd think, but Kispert and Suggs are gone.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I tell you, the guy tonight was Mark Vidal. He was
Not afraid to
literally
mix it up.
everywhere. He was getting rebounds. He was, getting hands in people's. And what really impressed me, I know Mitchell is like the greatest defender ever.
Yes,
but
obviously.
like I thought that he embarrassed Suggs every time he got the ball. Like I said, I didn't realize Suggs had 22, but I felt like when Mitchell was on him, Suggs was lost. So,
I mean, I did say Davion Mitchell, best defending guard in the country. So
you have been saying that.
I'm very excited for Davion Mitchell. I hope he doesn't dislike me because I didn't pick them to win, but
yeah, he should. And I'll make sure
fair
that
if he does. It's fair.
I'll make sure that I throw it in his DMs later tonight.
All right, you do that and let me know if he responds. I mean, he played his way from being kind of an afterthought in the NBA draft to being a guaranteed lottery pick at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care how old he is. Like, I don't know why NBA scouts get all wrapped up in the ages of players. Like, I think Davion Mitchell's 21. It's like, who cares if he can play? He can play.
Right.
And he's an extremely good defender. He's an elite three-point shooter. He has a really good first step, and he can just get to the basket at will on most guys. So this game for him goes a long way. What do you have? Like, how many points did Davion Mitchell have?
15.
With like 6 rebounds, 6 assists or something like that?
Yep. 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
I mean,
6 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3.
Jared Butler is great, but I've always thought Davion Mitchell was the best player on this team.
Maybe on both sides of the ball, yeah.
Butler's good defensively. He's not as good as Mitchell defensively, and Butler had a streak there where he wasn't making shots. I feel like Davion's been consistent the whole year. But Jared Butler was making shots tonight, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, when
Mark Vidal,
4 guys who can just shoot the ball is just, it's hard to beat.
And they have guys off the bench that play huge roles. Tchamwa Tchatchoua was as important as anybody on that team in terms of the front court. And then Matt Myers the same way with his ability to shoot, even though he didn't really have to tonight. But Mark Vidal, like you said, just everywhere. Ultimate glue guy. Does everything. Probably doesn't have a future in the NBA, but maybe in the NFL. I mean,
true.
Linebacker or tight end or something. He might be a little too large to be a tight end, but he could be like a solid linebacker.
A body. Yeah, he is a body.
I mean, Baylor took care of business. They beat the shit out of Gonzaga when nobody else could.
They did. It was and it was, I mean, from the get go, like you said, it wasn't even an afterthought, you know.
They did to Gonzaga what they did to Arkansas, and I never thought that would be able to happen because I just thought Gonzaga's offense was going to respond, but
They never
Gonzaga
showed.
picked a bad night to not be on their game. Like even if they were on their game in this game, it would have been
I
hard
don't
for them
think
to
they
win.
would have done much against that defense. I mean, Baylor's defense was phenomenal.
It's always good to see, a first-time champion, and it'll be fun to see that next year when Illinois wins it all. But like the big thing about this game was that one shining moment starting now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch that.
All right, man.
So this was good. Illinois is gonna win it all next year. We'll have fun with that,
Write it down.
and
First
we'll
one to
catch you on
say
the
it. 4 5
flippity
21.
flip. 45-21, whatever. Yeah. All right. Goodbye, folks.